WWE does the unthinkable and takes their greed to new heights with their latest shock announcement. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paul Levesque McMahon, supposedly body shamed while on vacation. We'll talk all about it. It's Amped Up Thursday, the 21st of August of the year 2025. Grab your coffees. It's time to wake up, and get amplified. We got a packed, jacked, stacked show for you today. Let's do this. Body shaming. That's still new to BC. I often wonder how kids today would have fared back in the 80s and 90s. I can't speak to anything beforehand, but I can tell you that a lot of what I see and hear today, in today's youth, is it's highly concerning. And I don't know what that says for character, and I don't know, man. It's a different world. We're going to talk about it, man. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, of all people. You guys remember this dude's physique? Of all people. But sometimes you got to remember how you get that physique. You got to be careful how you get it, and you better be doing it the right ways, because that can catch up to you. We'll be talking about that for sure. But first and foremost, man, whoa. WWE's greed. Just when you think they cannot get more greedy, right? There's no level above where they are right now. They somehow surpassed Disney in terms of greed, and Disney hit levels unbeknownst to mankind, right? I mean, they shattered through glass ceilings, Disney. They were like, oh, you thought that was as greedy as we can be? Disney was one of the first businesses to that scale to price out so many demographics, because that's what Disney did. They priced so many families out from their own product. So many families cannot even afford to go to Disney. Cannot go on those vacations anymore. They've been priced out. Park tickets can be up to a couple $100 per day per person. It's wild. But WWE, and I guess it's fitting, right? Because WWE is now in partnership, in lockstep with Disney, with this new ESPN deal. Well, Disney owns all of that. ABC, ESPN, that's all Disney. So I guess it's fitting that now they're going to follow that same business model, as if TKO was not already pimping out WWE. Now this new partnership with the Disney, it's going to be a whole nother realm. And this latest news is, it's wild, and it's unacceptable. It really is, man. This shows you that this company does not care about its consumer, the fans. And what I'm talking about is this massive story. You guys are going to need to know this, because if you're in the U.S. anyway, in the U.S., starting next month, the PLEs, the premium live events, they're no longer on Peacock. No, they're already beginning on ESPN. They have reached a deal with Peacock and ESPN to get out of the deal with Peacock early and to start streaming their PLEs on ESPN starting in just a few weeks, September 20th, I believe, with a show called WrestlePalooza. What is a WrestlePalooza? What's next? Wrestle Vessel? And a wrestle on a giant cruise ship? This is becoming obnoxious, but they're not even putting any thought into any of this. Not even the names. WrestlePalooza. But we'll get to that. But next month, what happened to 2026? Right? That's what Hunter Hearst Helmsley told everybody. In his statement that he put out just a few weeks ago when this announcement was made public, that ESPN is obtaining the rights to the PLEs and you're going to have to pay $30 every single month. Every month, $30, triple the amount most of you were paying for Peacock. But I'm going to get to that in a second. You can't get rid of Peacock because they've reached a new deal with Peacock for special events. So you're still going to have to pay the $10 every month bare minimum to Peacock. We'll get to that in a minute. This is what I mean. This is greed that BC has never seen before. And being in New York City, you see greed all the time, and businesses go to new levels. But Hunter Hearst Helmsley said, next year, 2026, he says, get ready. 2026. Okay, well, that's where families, whether they like it or not, this is the time to decide, are we going to jump off the ship now? Thank you, WWE, for all the years, but there's no way that we can financially afford $30 a month or however much it's going to cost. I think the math was done for an average family. You're going to have to pay over $1,000 every year now for WWE collectively. So whatever it is, I know you guys are coming up with different ways, some type of cheatery that you can do or a loophole that you can do to try to get all of this for cheaper. That's cool. But most families are going to go the traditional route and get one streaming service here, one streaming service here, ESPN over here, and that's going to add up. But this was your time frame. You said 2026. That gives families enough time to decide what they want to do, and if they want to stay with WWE and pay all this money, they can get their financials in order. What do we have to do to now fit this into our monthly bill planning? So they just announced this a few weeks ago. And what does WWE do? They just announced yesterday, late afternoon yesterday, they announced that they are going to ESPN in just a few weeks. They're going to begin it sooner. How soon? Next month. Next month. How is that 2026? That's great. You came to a new deal where you can make more money even quicker. It's a business, BC. I get it. But there comes a time in every business you have to. You literally have to think about your consumer. You have to think about the fans in this type of business model. You have to. Even if it means pausing or taking a little bit of a hit financially, you have to think long term. You can't possibly say that this massive change is coming in 2026 because this is massive. Most families, or even if you're single and by yourself, you're going to be paying triple the amount you used to. If it was $10 for Peacock, it's $30 a spot now, every month, for US anyway. And who knows the changes that'll eventually come to other countries. It ain't just going to end there with the US, trust me. But then to just catapult it to next month? Everyone's like, wait a second, what do I do with Peacock? I still have Well, you're going to need that too. You can't stop paying for that because wait till you hear what they're doing with Peacock. But if you want to watch PLEs, starting here with the States next month, you better have ESPN. And there's talk of, well, it can be bundled with Hulu or certain cable providers will allow you to watch the PLEs on ESPN. None of that has been confirmed. There's all of this talk, and there's no defined plans that is going to allow you to watch these PLEs on regular cable. It's a possibility, very slim, and it won't be for most. And even if that was the case up front, trust me when I say when they see the bottom line, how much they're making or could be making, that'll change quickly, and eventually you will be paying the $30 a month for a PLE. WWE starts in less than 1 month as of today on ESPN for all PLEs. What happened to 2026, Hunter Hearst Helmsley? That's great. You were all the suits and ties were trying to get a different type of a deal that works out for you, and it's a big fuck you to fans. But that's what Helmsley always tells us. Fuck off. That's what he tells the fans. He doesn't care. TKO certainly doesn't care. WrestlePalooza is going to kick off this new relationship next month in just a few weeks. ESPN will be where you have to go for PLEs. September 20th, WrestlePalooza. I'm sure the event will be as stupid as it sounds. NBC Universal Peacock, in case you're wondering, has a new deal structure that'll see several Saturday night main events a year, which will include John Cena's retirement match mid-December. I think that's maybe December 13 or December 14. John Cena's retirement match, Saturday night's main event. And in case you're thinking, well, I can get away with that because that's NBC. I don't have to watch it NBC Universal unless they make a couple of them solely on Peacock, which, trust me, that'll end up happening. But not so fast, because there's several other WWE specials that'll be on Peacock. And the library, at least going into 2026, will be solely on Peacock. Also, SmackDown replays. So if you miss SmackDown, Peacock. That's part of this new deal structure. That'll remain. Of course, USA Network is part of NBC Universal, which is Peacock. So if you want to watch SmackDown, you couldn't watch on USA, Peacock. They're going to make you pay, bare minimum, that extra $10 every month. Don't forget Raw on Netflix. If you want to watch Monday Night Raw, you better have Netflix. That's another bare minimum, $10 every month. Bare minimum. And then after what was it, March, April, whatever it is, in 2026, the library then finds a new home. The library and NXT. Their specials and their PLEs, NXT and the library, will find a new home. We're hearing that could end up being Amazon Prime. That's another bare minimum $10. So let's add it up real quick. Amazon Prime, 10. Raw, Netflix, 10. Peacock, 10. NBC or ESPN's WWE PLEs, 30. We are at now 60. I just made an upload a couple of weeks ago when this announcement was made for ESPN, and I said, you're going to be paying at least $50 a month now. The normal family, here stateside anyway. In this country, you'll be paying at least $50. That just went up. That's now at 60 bare minimum. Again, there's loopholes, and hopefully things will be bundled. We'll see if we can cut that down to 30 to 40, but we'll see. But as it stands right now, your bare minimum is $60 a month. And again, that's bare minimum. The greed is worse than Disney, and they're pricing people out. And that's what WWE is doing. They're pricing people out. Disney's been doing this for years. And what that means is they're jacking the prices so high because there is still demand. There's still demand. So the people that have the money, they're willing to pay that. And the majority that don't, they can no longer go. They can't participate. The problem with that is eventually that runs its course. And you're going to need those people back, right? McDonald's just made a huge decision. McDonald's is lowering the price of most items on their menu. And especially their combo deals, because they're trying to get people to get their combo meals again. They broke down the numbers, and for some reason, a lot less people are going to McDonald's these days, and it's not because they want to get healthier. Trust me, the price hikes were so much. Double cheeseburgers were like $3-4. Back in the day, you could get 2 for $1. That's not a good thing, by the way. I often wonder why you can get 100 chicken nuggets for $3. That's not good. They're probably not chicken. But McDonald's is lowering their prices. That no business really likes to do that. But they saw that consumers finally said, dude, we can't pay this for this amount of money. We're this close to just getting real meat at the local supermarket. So McDonald's had to lower prices to try to get people back in. McDonald's was pricing people out. Eventually, Disney will have to lower. And you'll have to allow a lot of people that could not afford it, you'll have to bring them back into your parks WWE will ride this wave right now because we saw their live crowds, man. People are willing to shell out, right? The kids are begging their parents and the parents are whipping out the wallets and they're laying down plastic and it's covering the thousands of dollars that it cost to go to these events. But what has happened this year already from last year? Remember last year they touted record revenue nonstop? Remember they touted one consistent sellout after another. That's all we heard, right? Another sellout on SmackDown. We're sold out here in Pittsburgh. We're sold out here in San Francisco. We're sold out across the country. What happened this year? You're not hearing it that much, are you? They're packing them pretty good. But the sellouts are not there. Not like they were last year even. What happened? The plastic runs out. Credit cards get maxed. When they get maxed, they create interest. And when WWE comes back around the next time, you can't throw down those cards anymore. So that's why you're not hearing about consistent sellouts anymore. That's why WWE actually got smart and they said, we got to get outside the US. We got to start making other countries whip out their credit cards. So that's what they were able to do the last 2 years. You're going to start to see as they continue to go to France and Germany and this place and that place. Don't be shocked if they're not selling out either. After just past this year. That's what happens in business. The greed gets to an all-time high. And eventually your fans say, I can't. I've supported. I gave you it all. I can't anymore. The families that literally cannot afford another $30 to watch a PLE that's worth, they should be paying you for how trash these PLEs are. These shows are not worth 30 cents. They're going to charge $30. But that's what's happening. And trust me, you may be well off today or at least financially stable. And that's awesome. BC too. But growing up, it wasn't always that way. I know for a lot of you guys, I know for BC, I grew up in a little set of projects. They used to get what's called lunch tickets. So to get lunch at school, you reduced because it was $1.50, $2, I think. It wasn't that expensive. We didn't have that. We didn't have the extra 10 to 20 bucks. So I got these lunch tickets. I either got a free lunch or I get to pay for 40 cents a lunch. Great reduction. That's what we did to get by. So I want you to think about, like, you think that just went away? No, there's families that couple bucks here, couple bucks there. They don't have that. They're thinking, how can I make my rent this month? How can I pay the bills? How is electric $30 more than it was last? I mean, there's families that literally go paycheck to paycheck. Many people go paycheck to paycheck. And you're telling them, hey, this is such a great thing, right? They tout it like it's wonderful. Wonderful for who? The pickpockets? The greedy sons of bitches on Wall Street that are going to make a ton? TKO that is draining every cent out of their consumer that has supported for years and years. And now you're telling them, give me your money and then fuck off. Yeah, it's frustrating. Sure, I can go and pay the extra $30 every month, and I will for you guys more than anything because we created something damn special on this channel and on this platform. But I do feel bad for all of those individuals that can't do it. The kids that'll beg their parents and the parents are like, no, they don't even care about wrestling. They have this for their kids maybe. Teenagers. Whatever it is, but it's the parents' it's their decision what streaming or what cable they have. Dude, I do feel bad that they have to say no. Can't do it. You see it with Fox, broadcast television to cable. We just talked about it. I believe it was at yesterday's upload. SmackDown has lost over 600,000 viewers from Fox broadcast to SmackDown. And Fox was bringing in horrible numbers. WWE was that bad. On broadcast TV, they were only pulling in a 2.1. But the jump over to cable, mixed in with the product just didn't get better. 600,000 viewers have stopped watching SmackDown from just last year. In 1 year, 600,000 plus. A lot of them probably would love to have still kept watching, but they can't afford cable or they just don't have it. Now imagine streaming services. If you're wondering why Netflix is only pulling in a 2.7 for Monday Night Raw when they can, right? Remember when they were touting, we can reach 700 million people now globally. And now instead of one night, they can account for 7 nights for their rating. They can inflate the numbers because it's 7 nights, not one night now. That's how they count it on Netflix. But yet, globally, they're only pulling in an average of 2.5 to 2.7. Domestically, US, they can't even top 1.4. Numbers are lower than ever before on Netflix. Maybe a lot of the wrestling audience just can't afford it. It's a very real thing, man. Again, just because you might be doing good financially, don't forget there's a big portion of the country you're in, I don't care which one, that cannot afford shit like this, or it's a big decision. And when you only give them 4 weeks of notice, first you tell them, hey, you got plenty of time, it's in 2026. First one will be WrestleMania next year. And then you go, psych, JK, 4 weeks, get your wallets out. And they make it sound so good. Wow, we're coming with an all-new ESPN deal. Good for who? We're getting the same trashy product and we're paying triple the amount, quadruple the amount, 5-druple, 6-druple. The balls of this company, the audacity of this company to just break it like nothing, this announcement. Great news! We're beginning our partnership with ESPN next month. Great news for who? TKO and Helmsley and Nick Khan and Ari, I get it, Silver Lake. But you see, it's a business. As I said before, of course. And as I always say, all is fair in love, war, and business. But especially in a business model like this, you have to, several times, you're going to have to stop. Several times you're going to have to stop and go, whoa, yeah, this could make us a little bit more real quick. But long term, is this going to hurt more? Is it going to be a detriment, not a benefit? Certain times throughout the year, you got to stop with a big decision you're about to make and go, should we be thinking about the fans, the consumer a bit more? You have to. That's how you conduct good business. If you're wondering why ratings are going backwards, if you're wondering why they can't sell out like they used to just last year, if you're wondering why as of today merchandise is still down 19% this quarter over last quarter of last year, my bad, 19%. I think it's 3% over the last quarter. Merchandise even. Every metric is down and going the other way, the opposite way, backwards. Viewership. If you're wondering why, how are you wondering? It's smacking you in the dome piece like a brick. They're taking, and giving us nothing in return. And when we try to say, whoa, this isn't good, or can you do better? The guy at the top, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, tells you, the consumer, the fan, to fuck off. That doesn't piss you off? You don't stop and go, no, you fuck off. Hunter Helmsley? Get ready for 2026, Helmsley says, for the new deal with ESPN. And then a couple weeks later, he says, just kidding. We're 4 weeks. Get your wallets out. It's wild, man. It's absolutely wild. Let me know if you guys are going to be watching this thing on ESPN. I'm sure a lot of people who say they won't probably still will end up because it's what we all grew up watching, man. It's hard to just stop. But some of you always tell me, man, no, I just stopped. Cold turkey, boom, like a cigarette, done. I'm just done. I'm not doing it anymore. A lot of you guys tell me you do it, and you tune in and you say what's up to BC in the unit every now and again. And I appreciate that. Some of you guys catch every single upload, but you don't even watch the product. And you get all your fix from BC. I can tell you about a whole Raw and a whole SmackDown. 20, 30 minutes. Usually we go about 40 minutes, 50, hour. The gift to gab and a lot of coffee. But as far as the review itself, yeah, probably within a half an hour, I can tell you everything you need to know. The shows are so bad, I could actually tell you within 5 minutes, 2 minutes, because nothing ever really happens. But they're going to make sure that you pay for a streaming service every single show. SmackDown, if you missed it, you'll have to catch Peacock's replays. You better have Peacock. Oh, for Saturday night's main event, too, if you missed that. And currently the library. And NXT, all of that. Peacock. Then you want to spend $10 for Netflix. Then you want to spend the Amazon Prime. Will probably get the library next year. And then NXT Premium Lives. Because NXT is not included in the ESPN deal. They're going to want to, because that's what I mean. They're trying to suck out every dime in any which way they can. And then the $30 for ESPN. That's it. That's the conversation, man. If you haven't heard, that is the breaking news. WWE is starting early with their relationship with ESPN, starting next month. WrestlePalooza. WrestlePalooza. Sounds stupid. Most likely is going to be stupid. I think they're already touting Cena versus Brock Lesnar because they did say that Cena was going to face somebody he hasn't faced in over 10 years. Lesnar just whooped his ass, gave him an F5. I think the last time they wrestled was that 2013-ish? 2012, 2013? I know he attacked Cena in 2012, the Raw after Mania. And then they had that Extreme Rules match, I think it was. Or it was at Extreme Rules. I don't know. That was actually pretty good. Pretty violent, pretty badass. I'm guessing it's going to be Brock Lesnar and Cena. They didn't announce that, though. They just said Cena's going to face somebody he hasn't faced in over 10 years. Just tell. Come on. It'll be Randy Orton? Has it been 10 years for Orton? I don't know. That's face versus face now. Who would want us just... Nothing makes sense. Anyway, that's the breaking news, guys. ESPN. So start making the array. I know it's limited time. Many of you guys already have Peacock, and you're already like, oh shoot, what do I do? Do I keep? Do I? What? They don't care. They're just announcing it like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Hey, guess what? We're starting early. You're gonna have to pay even more for our product. Aren't you excited? Hey guys, you're not going to believe it. We're starting next month. You can start giving us more of your money next month. It's not going to be next year. We're going to start taking more money sooner. So why are you not excited? You get to give us more of your money and we get to give you more of the trash that we distribute on a monthly, weekly, daily basis. I'm going to open this coffee. This one's done. This one, BC botched on this. Put this in the freezer. I wanted it really cold. And then some business came up. And what was supposed to be a half an hour turned into about 4 hours. So my iced latte drink is probably a frappuccino now. It's probably a frozen coffee. We'll see. So give me a minute to crack this open and get even more amplified. Our next story is pretty wild. Hunter Hearst Helmsley supposedly body shamed in the community for recent shock photos while he was on vacation. They are pretty stunning when you remember what Helmsley once looked like, and then you see these photos. I mean, it's shocking. I'm sure a lot of fans were taken back, but the word that they're using is body shamed. And JBL really came to the defense of Helmsley. I want to give you a quote from JBL. And Cody Rhodes is calling BS. Cody Rhodes is like, no, body shaming, it's good. Cody Rhodes said, body shame me all you want. So I'm going to give you his quotes as well. And we'll talk this wild thing that is in 2025. It's been that way for years. It's a real thing. Body shaming, it's called. We never had that growing up. It's one of those new day things, man. Not Xavier Woods and Kofi. Hold on, let me crack this. We'll talk all about it. Helmsley was in Greece. Salute unit. It's actually not it's actually good. Maybe that's my new thing. I'm going to start freezing these for a few hours. Let it sit for about a half an hour, 45 after. Here you go. We're on to something. So Hunter Hearst Helmsley was body shamed while in vacation in Greece. He was in Greece with the fam. And I don't know, was this TMZ? I mean, these are pretty decent photos. It must be TMZ. I don't think it was a random fan like, oh, it's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. These look like maybe TMZ, maybe. I mean, these were these were like action photos too. There was one where he's like jumping into the water with his whole family. They all they planned this like big jump at the same time. It's a really good shot, actually. Like if you're at like an amusement park, you pay for the photo. It was that good. But the real talk was Hunter Hearst Helmsley's physique or lack thereof. I mean, it's rough. It's absolutely rough, but you do take into account that he is in his 50s. He had the deal with his heart. Now he's got the gimmick in his heart, the pacemaker. And from what I believe he already had a condition when he was younger, maybe born with it, something like that. Most humans do. They don't even know it. Most humans have heart conditions of some sort. Most don't even know it. So he had something, I guess. And then how he got that physique, guys. A lot of it was hard work, dedication to the gym, and a lot of it was supplements and just other things. I'll leave it at that. What you see, if you knew the amount of work that goes into Ultimate Warrior or Hulk Hogan or Hunter Hearst Helmsley, you want to believe that they just went to the gym for an hour every day. I can do that. It's a lot more. And if you already have a heart issue, that's a lot of strain on your heart. Now, you have to know this as you're going through, whether it's 20s, 30s, 40s, and you're putting your body through that type of stress. This is coming from BC, man. I love going to the gym. But you have to know what you're doing at all times because it'll affect you later on in life. And a lot of these wrestlers, they don't think about that. It's about the right now. They don't care what they have to do, what they have to take, how that's going to affect them in the future. But unfortunately, time, it flies. And that future catches up quick. And, well, you see what happens to a Randy Savage or an Ultimate Warrior. Hogan was 71. I mean, that's pretty respectable, but I'm sure a lot of things led to his heart failing as well. But so anyway, Helmsley has the heart thing, and I'm sure that was not helped by what he put his body through for decades. Trying to be the game and trying to get on Vince's good side. And Vince was about the physiques. So Helmsley did what he felt he had to do by any means necessary. So let's fast forward. So now you go to Greece and you see these photos. It's shocking. It absolutely is. This is coming from BC. I used to drink the water and spritz it out, right? Jam out to a time to play the game. We all did that growing up. We all remember Madison Square Garden, Triple H returning, and the music is blasting. Madison Square Garden, I don't know if I've ever heard it that loud. And he's got the jean leather jacket on, the jean and leather jacket. And when he takes that off, I mean, it was like, whoa, he must have spent 12 hours a day in the gym every day. There's more to it. A lot of people don't realize it. But you see that, and then you see photos like this. Because he still walks around backstage, the delts are out. Inside the suit, it looks like the biceps and the triceps are rocking. He's always got the suit on, so you're thinking he's keeping up with leg day. You certainly don't think he's got a 30-pack. You don't think he's got a belly for sure. But then you see a photo like that. This is before we even get to what's called body shaming these days. I'm just saying the shock of the photo. It's shocking. For BC, it definitely was, man. For any fan that remembered Triple H, and then you see Paul Levesque today, and again, that's taking into consideration that the age. He's in his 50s. He's got the heart condition. We get it. Two things can be true at the same time. It's still shocking. It's stunning. Because this dude was always about his physique. So it's absolutely stunning, to see him with a belly. It's still, I don't think he ever really concentrated on leg day when he was coming up into the WWE and really becoming Triple H the game. I really think he was skipping leg day all the time. I truly do. I always felt he kind of had pencil legs. He was always blasting his quads. He was always kind of wiggle-legged because that's not what was being seen anyway. He was about the show of it. So perhaps not as stunned to see that he still does not concentrate on leg day, but still stunned to see that, he just doesn't work the legs out at all. Like even with, especially if you have a heart issue, you'd probably think like the legs are getting even more of a workout, right? Focus a little bit more lower now. But so yeah, it's shocking, guys. It is. The guy we grew up watching who was known for his physique is now just an older Paul Levesque McMahon now. Yeah, it's stunning. Now here's where the body shaming, right? This is a new word that over the last few years BC is learning about. Body shaming, it's called. Again, kids today would not last in the 80s and 90s, man, because when somebody was fat, we just said, hey, you're fat. And then they got less fat. That's how it worked. Now, of course, they may have cried a little bit. It may have hurt them mentally. I get it. It sucks, but I mean, it helped them, a lot of them. If you were too thin, you said, what the heck? Eat a piece of bread, and then we will go to the loaf. But, I mean, back in the day, we just stated the obvious. We don't just walk in circles, man. Or talk in circles. But today, you can't do that. Today, you walk into a Target. It's wild. You walk into a Target. I'm not saying they got to be supermodels. But, like, you walk into a Target. It's like they went out and tried to pick the ugliest humans in the world. And they put them up on their big posters. So you walk into a Target and it's like the fucking, you got some 600-pound woman in underwear. Stretch marks are going over the underwear. She's got somehow two separate gaps in her, right? I'm not talking like a Mike Tyson. It's like two separate gaps somehow. She's got 812 freckles with 46 zits. 3 different styles of hair and colors. Nose ring that goes into her ear somehow. I don't even know. And it's like, what are you selling? It makes me want to just get what I'm in to get my, what is it? Deodorant, some shaving cream, a Keurig coffee machine, and not look at anything. Just get out of that store. Everywhere you turn in a Target now, you're hit with an ugly truck. I'm not saying they got to be supermodels, but what is this new campaign of just everybody can just be normal? What is normal? Fat as fuck? That's not healthy. Care about that. I love what Cody Rhodes said. I want to read what Cody Rhodes, or should I do JBL first? Let me see. JBL came to the defense of Helmsley. So let me go to that first. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. And then we'll go to Cody Rhodes and what he says about body shaming. JBL says this. This guy, meaning Hunter Hearst Helmsley, is worth a freaking fortune. JBL is so focused on the money and the status of Hunter more than anything. Listen to this. This guy's worth a freaking fortune. I think he's doing a hell of a job. And he's on a yacht in Greece. And the only thing you can say is, oh, as a 50-year-old guy, he doesn't look like he did when he was 20. Really, you dipshit? Would you trade with him? Would you trade with him for the bank account that he has, the yacht, and his position? I think nearly everybody would. And don't forget to go to your high school reunion this year and look at all of the people around you and see how normal people look. And don't forget to look in the mirror yourself, you bunch of fat bastards. So he's pissed off that people are body shaming Helmsley, and then he calls everybody fat bastards. Well, how's that not body shaming, JBL? I'm just saying, you can't yell at people for calling Helmsley fat and then call them fat. Or maybe you can. I guess you did. I guess you can, because he did. But then you had Cody Rhodes. You guys ready for this? Cody Rhodes says, and I quote, because Cody Rhodes is totally fine with body shaming and actually endorses it because it makes wrestlers be better. That's what he says. Cody says, and I quote, "This is a vanity business. If you're trying to be on the come up, you've got to get in the best shape of your career. Wrestlers, you can tell when they're in the best shape of their career, they want it. They want it. Currently, I know it may seem toxic and stuff, but amongst the boys and gals, everyone is saying who does your diet and who does your training. There's a whole nother health conscious now in WWE. And we're trying to look our best." Cody Rhodes goes on to say, and there's this weird online contingent that doesn't realize how important that is. We are wrestling with our shirts off. We are standing next to some of the best athletes in the world. It's okay to go to the gym. We have what we call effort shamers, and then you'll hear fans say, "You can't body shame wrestlers." What are you talking about? We're standing there half naked and you've paid hundreds of dollars to see us. You can body shame me all you want. End quote. Cody Rhodes is just authentically real about it. You paid how much money? Not everybody is going to look like Bastion Booger. Not everybody's going to be an Otis or an Earthquake. Not everybody's a Yokozuna. And sadly, a lot of those lives are cut short because of health choices. So Cody Rhodes is saying, and I quote, "It's okay to go to the gym. Body shame me all you want. It's a vanity business. We're out there in wrestling tights. And you've paid hundreds of dollars bare minimum. Today, it's thousands of dollars for a lot of tickets. And you're not even allowed to make the observation that somebody got chunky? That somebody missed leg day? That somebody gained a little too much weight and probably not too healthy for their future? You can't make the observation? BC likes to overdo it in the gym sometimes. I'm always re-aggravating old dislocated elbows, or I'm tearing something, or twisting something, right? So then I can't work out like I would like to for sometimes weeks and even months at a time. I just can't do what I usually do, but I still go. I do what I can. There's times my boys will be like, "What are you lifting these days, BC? Happy Meals? What do you..." Because... I don't tell them that I'm on the injured list. I'm on the injured reserved right now, but I don't want them to know, I'm going to still show up. But they'll let me have it. I don't cry about it. I don't leave the gym and go, "Man, I was just body shamed." What are you talking about? It's what it is. If you're a professional wrestler, as Cody Rhodes says, look the part. Hunter Hearst Helmsley absolutely did that. And he took the by any means necessary approach. Well, you're going to have to pay the Pied Piper eventually if you take that approach, because that's not healthy. He did everything he needed to do to get to the top. He got the physique that Vince wanted. He got into Vince's ear, eventually into Vince's office, eventually put himself had Vince put him into a storyline with Stephanie McMahon. They took Test out. I am still mind-boggled by that. To this day, I can't believe that happened, but Helmsley admitted that himself. Put himself into that storyline with Stephanie, ended up having the affair on China and marrying Stephanie, the boss's daughter, and now is at the top. He did everything he needed to do. He played the game, man, to a T to obtain the position he's in now. Because everybody around him said he never had a creative bone in his body. That's what Bret Hart said. Vince Russo said he had never came up to him with an idea. Never. Maven recently said, dude, while he was in the locker room, nobody even trusted Levesque McMahon. They were already calling him Petty Paul. You think if he was not kissing Vince McMahon's ass and married to the boss's daughter that he'd be the boss of WWE? The guy has no creativity. He doesn't even like to be in the office. Look at this whole year. He's never in the office. He's doing commercials and voiceovers and promotionals and filming the show Unreal, making it look like he's the one who put all the names up on the board. No, he walked into the room and said, what are we thinking for Mania? And everybody said CM Punk. And he said, oh, Jey Uso, you got it. He changed what they were all working on. He went in and changed it all. Flies in on his jet, changes everything, leaves in a half an hour. How many podcasts has Helmsley done this year when he could have been in the office? He's never in the office. And when it's all said and done, he needs a vacation. Too many podcasts. Too many commercials. I need a vacation. That's what I'm more shocked about. It's not the physique. Dude's in his 50s. I know what he had to do to get that physique back in the day, and I knew that it was going to catch up, and it did. What I'm shocked about, or what I'm more just trying to come to grips with, and I understand that people like vacations, and life is short, so take the vacation, especially if you got the money in the yachts, as JBL is saying. But I grew up differently with WWE, and I knew Vince McMahon, and he didn't like vacations. There's times he had to because a certain thing was happening with family or whatever, and he had to. He hated it. He would be in his office. I always use this Steiner math, 25 hours a day, 25/7. Do the math. He would somehow do so much work that he'd find an extra hour somewhere. He wouldn't leave the office. He wouldn't do it. And until the final years of his creative, when he finally just gave up and he just kind of leaned on his success and invited some paralegals into his office. You know how that goes. You know the Vince story. You know, the last few years, of course, it was bad with Vince creatively, but the bulk growing up and Vince McMahon in charge, he was in that office all the time. You couldn't get him out. He didn't want to do commercials. He was not going to, if podcasts were around, he didn't want to do it. He only did a handful of interviews, period, over the course of decades. Hated it. So it's different when you grew up with that and now you see the guy in charge who doesn't even like being in the office and is on vacation. Again, I know PC deserves a vacation. I get it. I'm saying that it's still different. It takes getting used to because that's not what we grew up with. A lot of the old school wrestling fans, especially for WWE, we grew up with Vince McMahon and he didn't take vacations and you didn't see him out of the office. And with Helmsley, he just wants to play superstar. So it's getting used to that. You know what I mean? Just seeing the boss, as we're getting a shit product, it seems like nobody in that company cares. They're greedier than ever before. And then you just see the dude jumping off his yacht in Greece. And everybody's supposed to feel bad because they said he got fat. Don't be shocked when people are not going to be that up in arms about it. I'm sure the guy who's a multi-millionaire jumping off his yacht is going to be okay with you calling him chubby. I'm sure he's going to be just fine with it. Even JBL defending him kept talking about his yacht and his fortunes and how well he's doing in life. Does that have to do with you got chubby? You gotta work your legs because as you get older, guys, any older person will tell you falls are a real thing. Older people fall easy because their legs just, the muscles, the bones, they don't walk as much. So you have to strengthen your legs up. So if you're really concerned, oh, well, he's in his 50s. Of course he's going to gain a little weight. Well, if you're really concerned, he's got to work the legs a little more. I'm with Cody Rhodes. Work your physique. Now, yeah, absolutely. You could say, well, that's when Helmsley was performing. He's not performing now. So why does he got to be in the best of shape? I hear you. That's the story out. That's what we're talking about. It's a shock to fans because we're just seeing Paul Levesque like this. His Triple H days are done. Well, no, he still goes, but he's still making a lot of money off the trip. So yeah, no, I take that back. And he still comes out and asserts his delts. So no, he's still a performer. He still goes by the Triple H moniker. So no, fans are absolutely going to, I take that back. Fans are absolutely going to expect that physique. Or you could call yourself Paul Levesque and just sit your ass in Gorilla, put on the headset, shut your mouth, and try to deliver a good product. A good show every Monday, a good show every Friday. Instead of being in meetings trying to think, how can we rip our fans off even more and charge them even more? Maybe use your time constructively and develop really good product and shows for us. What a wild concept. But no, he wants to still play Triple H. All right, well, people are going to expect a Triple H physique. And when you show up in Greece, halfway to Bastion Booger territory, well, then people are going to go, whoa, he got chubby or he got fat. And you can label it body shaming. You can label all you want. I don't think it's that good. It's that out of... Remember Sheamus? You guys remember Sheamus came back and he was chubby? I mean, Sheamus's physique was gone. He came back with a burger belly. And people were going burger after burger after burger. And they were calling him Whalemus and Sheamus. And he laughed about it. He's like, all right, that's actually on me. Remember, he said, that's on me. I was expecting to come back a little later. They wanted me to do this thing with Gunther, or he was expecting it with Gunther, and then he got called in early. Something like that. But he was given a certain time, so he felt he didn't have to work out much right now. Then WWE was like, we need you to come in a few weeks. And he was like, okay. So when asked about the backlash to his weight and how his physique looked, Sheamus was like, no, that's on me. It's totally on me. I was expecting this date. I took my foot off the gas totally. And yeah, I let myself get to that point. So when I came back, yeah, that's not how I should have been. He even posted on something too. He posted up, all right, get your laughs in now. You know, he had some fun with it. What he gonna... I'm sure Helmsley's not crying about it either. It's the righteous moral grounders today that are just up in arms. Don't even talk about his physique. It's Triple fucking H. One of the wildest physiques in pro wrestling that we saw growing up. And he still walks around like he's Papa H. And then you see him like that, and it's like, whoa. No, it's pro wrestling. You're going to talk about physiques. You're just going to do it. If that upsets or if that makes people cry, then it's the wrong thing. You can't follow it. It's the wrong thing. I don't know. You know, even acting, right? Acting, but people will always talk about looks and like if somebody gets surgery done, plastic surgery, that's always talked about. If somebody fluctuates in weight, that's always talked about. As Cody Rhodes says, it's a vanity business. It's a vanity business. I know there's a lot of females that are always like, oh, the men are always talking about how sexy the women are. They're sexy. They are, man. You're watching Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. Yeah, we want a good wrestling match. But if you think dudes are not watching this also going, damn, these women are fine. If you think you're watching Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss and we're not like, damn, these are some nice, a lot of good going on right now. And then the same people that are complaining, or same women that are complaining, are probably like, wow, Roman Reigns, so dreamy. Becky Lynch live on air, talking about her hot husband, Seth Rollins. It's okay to say that's vanity. It's a vanity bit. I like Cody Rhodes' approach. Now, of course, there's crossing the line and being an absolute freaking a douche about it. And that you just pay no attention to. That you just look right past. Right? That's like, come on. But if people are just shocked and people are just going, yeah, man, whoa, Helmsley, he gained weight, man. Yeah, and he's skipping leg day and his arm shrunk down a bit. It's wild to see. It's got to be in conversation, man. You can't be Triple H for decades and get all this money off of your physique. And then one day you show up like that and everyone's supposed to go, don't say anything, guys. Had a heart issue and he's in his 50s. Everyone relax. Don't even, I know what you're about to say. Don't even say it. We know. Just be nice. I agree with Cody Rhodes' sentiment on that. Anyway, wild discussion, right? Who would have thought Triple H being, quote, body shaming? Who would have thought that body shaming would be a thing? But 2025, you'd be amazed how many things there are in 2020 that I literally stop and I go, whoa, that wouldn't work in the 80s and 90s. That wouldn't. But that is going to do it for today's show. Until next time, and there will be that next time. 44 dive. That's a wrap. BC saying check you, unit. Salute.